All right, so we're here with the fifth episode of the 1080C podcast. I am Trevor Valentine.
I'm Sophie Ryan.
Willis Fuller.
I'm Samantha Cheese, right?
I'm Crawford Nattles.
And today we're going to talk about Oscars, winners, snubs, losers, the whole deal, movies we think are overrated, or why the Oscars don't really matter that much to begin with, but you still tune in because sometimes you just like to get mad at stuff, so yeah. So I guess for people that watch, our fans, we don't really have a format, so we're just going to open the floor and open conversation.
I would like to make one slight correction. The Oscars don't matter for the most part, but they do help filmmakers who are new in the scene. And if they win something because they're new and promising, that boosts their career and helps them. And that's nice. You get better movies produced. Besides that, they don't.
Or
matter.
is the Oscar curse though?
There's that too. Halle Berry.
Damn.
Cuba Gooding Jr. both got their first Oscar.
Yeah.
Damn.
But they got comebacks. I mean, Halle Berry was in John Wick 3.
Should have won an
Cuba
Oscar.
Gooding Jr. He played what was that show? Oh my god. O.J. Simpson versus the People.
Yeah. With John Travolta. I think he's in that show. I might be wrong on this. I don't
John
remember.
Gotti. No, it's David Schwimmer, right?
John Gotti.
Oh.
That was an off-topic conversation, but yeah. So, what would you guys?
It begins early this episode, apparently.
Are we gonna go through each section of the list, or
We
how
talk
do you
about
Literally-
snubs.
Yeah, we can. I guess
No
we can.
format.
Yeah, we don't really. We can start with snubs. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let's just start with snubs. Movies that we think should have been nominated, or movies that we think should have won, but didn't win. So, I have a pretty good one to start out with.
I have one as well.
So actually, I found this out a few months ago. In 1989, Spike Lee, "Do the Right Thing" was not nominated for Best Picture, and I think that's a travesty.
I guess you're talking about The Five Bloods.
Oh no, I was talking about "Do the Right Thing" and
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, we're talking about
Phenomenal.
just Oscars in general. Okay.
yeah, we're not talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
okay.
not just this year.
yeah.
Oh shoot! I didn't think that far ahead. I was just thinking about this year.
Basically, every female director in history has been snubbed, so
Yeah, that is true. That's
the
very
room
true.
got quiet.
Oh.
That's a
I
side
remember-
tangent we could
I'm,
get.
I'm
That's
You
trying
want
to.
me to yeah.
That is a side
Let's
tangent
get
we
them
could
ladies
also
I
to
get
get
remember
into.
getting so
awards.
mad. Greta Gerwig wasn't
Yeah.
nominated.
Okay. I think
Like,
that's.
Oh, don't remind. You just made me remember how
I'm trying to
mad
think
I
of-
was about that.
We're talking about snubs.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That was the biggest. How are you going to nominate the whole thing for Best Picture, but not
But-
direction?
But Todd Phillips was nominated for Best Director, and it makes me so angry.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah.
Oh my
It's hard to beat
gosh.
that we live in a society movie. Come on.
I'm glad the composer won for that movie though. She was pretty cool.
She's great.
But
Lovely. Yeah, I was trying to think of a specific female director I remember getting snubbed in the most recent 5 years, but I'm
It's
forgetting
definitely
which
big,
person.
Greta.
Probably was Greta, because she also Little Women too was pretty
Little Women, yeah.
directed really well. So.
Did it win a Best Adapted Screenplay?
I think it did. I'm pretty sure. I can fact check that.
Yeah, I was about to
However-
get that as well.
Actually, should I be on fact checker since I literally have no idea anything about the Oscars?
However, we have 2 female directors nominated this
We
year,
do.
which is the bare minimum, but
Yeah, and then
um,
and then you're gonna get people who are like, but
No,
it's a slow
oh,
year.
So
Taika
Little Woman-
Waititi won over Little Women.
who did?
For best adapted screenplay, yeah.
Yes,
What
Jojo
did?
Rabbit beat Little Women for Best Adapted.
Yeah, Little Women only won Best Costume Design.
Yeah, it wasn't nominated for much either. Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
I'm hurting.
Laura Dern got nominated like twice.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, Marriage Story.
Marriage Story and Little Women. She won for Marriage Story.
Yeah, she did.
Marriage Story slaps.
My question is, not my question, but so I don't know. We have separate. This may be a hot take. Okay, we have separate categories for actor and actress. Would it be weird to have female director and male director?
Yes.
Okay, this is a topic that has come up a lot.
I think
trying to
so
remember
because
Discord.
I think the difference there is that you can have a leading female actress and a leading male actor, but ultimately there is really only one director in like a nomination. So
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know. I was thinking about that.
And like, I guess the argument also against it is that, you know, there shouldn't be like a separate category. They should just win for everyone.
Right.
And
Well,
so
then
that's
it's like,
just like-
you're the best female director, but you're not the
Yeah.
best director. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
And I guess so.
Right.
You'd have to expand that to everything else. So like male cinematographer, female cinematographer, but like everything behind the scenes, I guess it's more of the ideas and the people. And then I guess the actors, it's more of what is being presented is like
Yeah.
the gender roles of male and female. And I guess
Very
people
true.
are also, I don't know why,
What was the movie that won?
gender like.
I'm
Why
trying
is it
to
not just
think
best
of particular Oscar wins
Yeah.
that made me upset. So
Crash?
Ooh, I hate
Gets me.
that movie.
I hate it.
2019. I remember. I think this was the first Oscars I watched when I started getting really into movies. And Green Book winning made me
Yeah.
wanna rip
Let-
my eyes.
Yeah.
Very
knew
mad
that-
about that.
Yeah.
What was? Can someone remind me what the controversy around Green Book was?
It's a white savior movie.
That's what it
Basically,
was.
yeah.
I knew it was something like that.
Didn't have really good competition too.
Well,
mean-
Doesn't it
well,
take place in South Carolina?
They go all through the
because
South.
But
See, but when you look at the competition, like it's kind of like okay, there's like Bohemian Rhapsody, which it's not that good.
What was
But-
its like? Which one?
But see,
Wasn't
what
it
should've
3
won?
billboards as well? 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
I think that was the year.
That was the year before because it went against Shape of Water.
So,
Yeah.
Green Book went
Yes.
against Roma, A Star Is Born, Vice, The Favorite, Black Klansman, and Black Panther.
So
Which category for
Best
Best
Picture.
categories?
yeah, it should have been
What?
either The Favorite, which is, in my opinion, pretty awesome, or
Roma.
you just said it. Roma is beautiful and gorgeous and fantastic, but it won Best International, so it can't win Best Picture
I don't know. I really hate
until
Well,
2
that's
years
like-
later. Until 2 years later.
that's what
when
happened with-
Parasite.
didn't
Yeah.
the same thing kind of happen with Parasite?
That's what I'm saying. We can't do
Oh,
that,
shit,
guys, until Parasite
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
I don't think I've
But-
been. Oh, go ahead.
No. Say what you were gonna say.
I said I don't think I've been happier watching the Oscars than when Parasite won because I was so happy.
I mean, yeah.
It really is the best film to come out of that year, like international or not.
Has anyone else
was-
watched Bong Joon-ho's other movies?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
All
I want to
of
say
them.
No.
Host is better. Host, in my opinion, is better than Parasite, and I'm mad that didn't like.
I
still
can
think it
understand
helps.
that.
My two
Sure.
favorites from last year were Little Women and Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, not Jesus Christ.
Bohemian
Parasite.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was about to roast your ass, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, but they were the only two I saw in theaters. So like,
Sure.
I feel
Marriage
that.
Story was on Netflix, and
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time I watched
Oh,
completely legally,
shoot. Uh-huh.
and
Yeah. Right.
I think last year was the first time like I've seen.
I think that helped.
I watched
That's just
Parasite on a
that's a side
jailbroken
note.
fire stick as God intended.
Hey, shit.
I did it the Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I am peak art. I watched it at the Nickelodeon Theater.
I just really think that hones in the message that I was watching Jailbroke on Fire Stick. I was
Yes,
too
I had
fucking
to-
broke.
I had to drive.
In black and white. Like I know it makes no difference, but like I just
See,
like the idea.
I
of
have the
watching it in
Blu-ray.
black and white.
I have the Blu-ray that has the black and white.
You have the
version.
Criterion one like me. I have the
Yeah.
same.
So if you ever want to watch the black and white version, me and Trevor
Bro.
have you.
I watched.
Perhaps I will.
I watched the black and white one when I got because my mom got me that, and I was like, "Yo, thanks, mom." So I watched it, and I think I wrote like a whole letterboxd review, and I was like, "See, like it being in black and white kind of emphasizes the themes."
Ooh, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty. It's such
Yeah,
a
the Morse
They're
code on it,
equal.
it's so good.
Was El Camino not nominated?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's a snub right there. Oh my god.
Ooh, for best picture,
Also,
I mean, it's pretty good. When it comes to like, I've watched a lot of bad like
I feel like
bad action movies. I've seen a lot of like bad action movies, but like I think it deserved at least something. Was it not? It wasn't nominated.
series movie.
Irishman was nominated like
Yeah.
a year later.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. The Academy is
No.
very weird because it's a bunch of old men. So you know, it's
I personally think the
far as-
cinematography in that was like probably some of the best I've ever seen.
and what the Irishman, or
No, El Camino. Oh my god.
Oh, it does have some pretty nice
So-
cinematography. I gotta agree.
El Camino did not qualify to be considered for the Oscars.
Does it say
I
why?
think it.
Other
I
than-
think it's because it didn't have a theatrical,
Theatrical
release.
Yeah. They started. That's because like the Netflix movies like Marriage Story and The Irishman,
Yeah.
even though they're on Netflix, they had a limited theatrical
Yeah.
release, so they could be considered.
or
So
they
dumb.
go through festivals.
yeah.
It's so
They do
dumb.
the festival circuit.
Speaking
They're really
of Netflix movies,
Of course, exception.
another that made me upset last year, even though I like Joaquin Phoenix, listen, he's a great actor.
Good boy.
But my
Good
guy
boy.
Adam Driver got robbed. Marriage Story. That hurt.
I feel like we don't talk about Marriage Story
Should
enough.
Should I go back and finish that movie?
You should.
Yes.
I
Because it's the same reason I liked Minari. It's the little details that you catch that you're like, oh, this is going
I
down.
just-
Yo, I
Yeah,
had that
I
too,
started
Crawford.
I started
sorry.
it and then I instantly was like,
beautiful.
wow, this movie's gonna make me emotionally unstable and cry, and I cannot watch this by
Maybe.
myself. And then I never watched it.
Oh my gosh.
That-
You know, it's weirdly controversial of a movie. Some people really hate it.
Really?
Mostly
I don't know
because
why.
a lot of people think the acting's phony. And you know the argument scene with him punching the wall that made the rounds on social media.
See, yeah,
There's
I
that.
can see that. But that only made me laugh because I had seen the memes.
Yeah.
See, like the
But it
reason-
just makes me like it more.
I kind of hate this thing where like some people on the internet like they watch movies and they like live tweet in the like mid movie. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to immerse yourself when you're like, let me tweet about this real quick, you know. So
And I think
Right.
I was
think the
still
other-
The only live tweeting I've done is when Sharknado 3 came out, and I did a live tweet the premiere on Sci-Fi.
cinema.
See, my ass would get so distracted because I'd
Cinema.
be like, okay, pause, tweet, and now I'm on Twitter for the next 4 hours.
I only do it with movies like, oh, I watched the 4-hour cut of Justice League. We're not going to talk about that. But I was live tweeting that because I was so bored watching it. But that's another episode entirely.
I actually really want to watch it.
It's not
It's not
it's
terrible.
not terrible.
Apparently, it's the best DC movie.
If you don't care about
I don't know. I saw
Shazam.
Birds of Prey. All right.
Birds of
Okay.
Prey is-
slaps,
I really like them. For like
I
actually
don't
really
get too
enjoy
carried
Birds of
away.
I always forget Birds of Prey exist.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
It doesn't get
never
enough
gets-
hype.
It doesn't get enough hype, and there are not enough memes to constantly remind me of it.
Female director.
Justice for Kathy Ann.
Insane.
But yeah,
Which also did not get nominated for a thing, which is
Yeah.
fine.
What
I kind of
what-
wish like a lot
For
of people.
set design, it should have.
Yeah.
I agree.
Design,
That
100%.
was insane.
I feel
That's
like
where this could be a good segue. So someone say something before I segue.
Segue.
You want me to segue?
So I would just like to throw out that I looked up one of my favorite movies, Isle of Dogs. And it did get
Huh.
nominated for 2 things, but it did not. That makes me very sad.
You actually really like Isle of Dogs.
I have
Isle of
thoughts
oh, Isle of Dogs was in the same running the same year Spider-Verse was, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably why
Wait.
it lost, but I still just really enjoy that movie.
So people have something against Wes Anderson's stop
Okay.
motion movies for the same reason they don't like Fantastic Mr. Fox, because it doesn't follow the same.
See, like I feel
That
like
also had other things surrounding it, including Orientalism. And
yeah.
Oh,
Shades about that
100%.
stuff.
100%.
So that was like the contingent.
See, I was
aspects of
completely
that.
unaware.
Yeah.
My
Right.
thing is, the biggest thing that I have with this movie, I can hear myself. I'm here. Sorry. All right. So the biggest thing that I have with Isle of Dogs was Wes Anderson made the conscious choice to not translate the Japanese, but he decided to translate what the dogs are saying, and it just felt weird to me.
There's-
He also made the whole main cast white.
Yeah.
In a movie that takes
Yeah.
place in Japan.
Yeah.
Was the guy's son? Not son, his adopted.
He had like a
Nephew?
friend who
Yeah. That was that.
Just
Yeah. He
white.
was Japanese, but he doesn't speak
Yeah.
except like
Does he
on
not?
occasion. He speaks a little bit in
Doesn't?
Japanese, which we can't understand.
I watched that. Only reason I remember Isle of
Oh
Dogs.
my god!
I'm sorry to give you a crisis.
Isle of Dogs is a racist movie, and I've been enjoying it this whole time.
It's I see this is where you get into complications with movies, is because people make art and art is controversial, and I love Wes Anderson and I think he makes good stuff, but you also have to be able to sit back and be like, this thing you're doing is really weird, and that's
Yeah.
the fun of it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I
Yeah.
felt when I watched it. Like I was like, yeah, this is a little Orientalism, but I was
yeah.
I was
'cause
more
the-
focused on the dogs. So
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a good
That's
movie.
where my brain was.
I think
My
it's
brain
a
was
good
like,
movie,
ooh,
too.
dogs.
and I feel like, and a part of it was because like it's a lot of like Japanese culture imagery, and it's
Mm.
also directed by a white man, so it's like him being like basically a weeb or something, and that's like
Yeah.
technically cultural appropriation in some functions to some people, and that was and then the whole non-translating the Japanese person is like othering the
Mhm.
Japanese.
yeah, I feel that. But I don't know. I still like Isle of Dogs.
My
Was
brain
there
just-
like a specific explanation for that either? Like what was why
I
in
took
terms
it,
of
like,
the narrative?
Me personally, I took it that like
the
like,
way the
dogs
movie
can only communicate with the dogs, and that like the people speak a different language, because like that's how it is right now. I can speak to a dog and they like won't really get it, and like dogs
Yeah.
can talk to each other.
And don't the dogs have like a translator or something like attached
Yeah.
to them?
It-
Like
there's
it's
that-
up.
Oh shit.
Maybe not
I
quite.
thought there was just that one dog
I feel like
watch TV.
There's something-
Yes,
Look at the
yes.
pictures.
He watched the
Hmm,
news and he
maybe.
could like tell what they were saying.
Predict the
I haven't seen
future.
it since theaters.
Yeah. But at the beginning of the movie, it says for like your viewing pleasure or something stupid like that. We've translated the dogs.
yeah.
But not
Yeah.
Japanese.
I don't know.
No subtitles or anything, just vibes.
I think that's like a way to criticize it from like a film much. And that can
I agree.
anything-
I think that like it just
but of course you're
it
allowed
affects
to
personal opinion.
Yeah, and of course you're allowed
Which-
to you're allowed to let it bother you if you wanted to. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, I definitely think that's a problem from a if you're like studying it from a media studies perspective. That's
Yeah.
true, but the movie itself doesn't like use that as a crutch or anything. It's like there's an intent to it, I think. And Wes Anderson's not someone who like is doing it like being Orientalist on purpose.
Yeah. There's
Well,
no
I don't know.
malicious.
Especially when I watched the interviews he did for it, like he seems
Oh,
like he
boy.
genuinely cared about like actually being as authentic as possible. So I don't know. It
I don't know either.
is a little weird, but
Yeah. It's not even my favorite of his really, but yeah.
I think my brain, because I watched it with my dog, so I was focused on the dogs for the whole movie. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
The
this is
good
cool.
the good way to watch it. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
So-
Isle of Dogs.
Surprise.
Is
Said
pretty
Yoko
good.
Ono.
Sam,
in it.
what were you?
My
She has,
That's
like-
segue.
true.
She has like
Oh,
one
my
line.
segue. She does. She says like what she says, but yeah, she's the other scientist. Yeah, segue. This is going back to Birds of Prey. There are underrepresented groups that are not represented at the Oscars. Stunts, voice acting.
Yeah.
If we can think of any others, those are what I've got.
There's like there's no horror or anything. The Oscars really don't like horror movies. I'm finding out.
That's a big thing. A lot of
Yeah, because did
No.
Summer and
No.
Hereditary? No.
Hereditary.
No. Those did not
See,
get nominated.
that's a snub if I ever heard one.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad one. It's lagging.
Overall, let's see here.
I don't think they got anything at
Oh, I
all.
believe you. Critical
they
response.
did. Yeah, they didn't get
They
anything.
definitely did not. Just like film festival stuff.
Did
Wow.
any of? Hold on.
I know a lot of people called Shape of Water a horror movie, even though it definitely is
It
not.
wasn't.
A lot of people saying a horror movie finally won the Oscars.
Yeah, like it's
Did
slightly.
Us not get nominated for anything?
No, it did
No.
not. Which I
That
think
was
was
the-
some because Lupita
And-
Nyong'o deserved a lead actress nomination.
And she
That's-
didn't get
she
it.
definitely
Bullshit.
did.
And she
great.
should have.
Lovely. Yeah. Obviously, he won for Best Original Screenplay for Get Out, but that's about it.
Get Out did get nominated for his
And nominated for just Best Director, I think, too, that year. And nominated for Best Picture.
Oh my gosh, poor Ari Aster. That's such a snub.
I don't get why they don't like horror so much. Like,
Like I said, old white men, I don't know, gore, blood, scary. They're unconventional.
I don't
So
get it.
funny.
They like their Oscar.
I think it's just hard to promote to an audience. That's why they don't do it,
yeah, for sure.
especially in mainstream media for the Oscars. That's why horror's usually because it's
Yeah,
horror's usually like kind of below mainstream media
yeah.
and like rides there because that's why there's a lot of spoof in horror if you think about it. Like the icons are like Chucky, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. They got some goof in there.
That's
Like-
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people think just automatically assume that if you, a lot of horror movies are going to be kind of stupid because
Yeah, and it
you
just
get
depends.
cheap horror movies.
But stupid is fun sometimes. Like
I mean, you get
Reanimator.
The Exorcist. The Exorcist.
I love scary movie.
Side
feel-
note:
Oh, bad.
Jordan Peele was the first African American to win Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, and that was in 2018, which is awful
God.
on our parts.
Disappointed but not surprised.
White men. I'll repeat till the end of my days.
That's
So there's that.
Gotta love rich white people patting themselves on the back award ceremony.
Yeah, boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Wow.
Also, like, why do we care about the Oscars? They're not connected to anything. It's like made up of Hollywood elites, literally.
It's a thing just like when people talk about like the Grammys or the Golden Globes.
And
People like validation for stuff that they like. They want to be like, yeah, I watch Oscar movies, and which I don't really get. Like, if you like something, you like it. But some people, they need to have that golden seal of approval on everything.
it's nice to like have things be celebrated. Like I'm not avidly against it, but I think they should do better. You know, like
yeah.
Yeah.
obviously I love
think
when
it should
Homegirl
be
wins.
coming. from the right place as opposed to these upper echelon just like stroking themselves off just because
Yeah.
they
Right.
can.
I feel like the Oscars, it should be like a celebration of all the movies that came out within the last year, and that's what it should really come down to. But a lot of it is just like, yo, industry politics. So they didn't say hello
It's all
to
about the
me.
money, man. You can make what?
Yeah.
An extra $2 million for a nomination,
Yeah.
like DVD sales, and then like 10
Yeah.
million for a win.
I will say on a side note, what you were saying about I like to watch Oscar movies. When I came to my orientation here and they went around, we had to talk about like what we wanted to do so they could make sure we were in the right major. I was like, I want to make Oscar movies. So
How's that working out for you? That's good.
I just made one.
Ooh, I
An
mean,
end to it, Oscar nominated win.
Short film.
um,
That's a snub if I've ever heard one.
what festival did it win? That's Oscar eligible.
Oscar the
We're taking
Grouch
it to
guys let me know.
Sundance. Yeah, Oscar the Grouch would love it.
We
You
can
need to
throw
know.
our
You
own
would,
award
actually.
show. 1080C
Correct.
awards.
The 1080 the well, we can't submit it, but the Collegiate Film Festival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a
The only
plug.
thing good about the Oscars is making not like the father.
Right. Like I don't think a lot of people would have seen Parasite if it didn't get nominated.
Exactly.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Because
That's
it's
true too.
Korean, and same with Roma. Anything non-American, I think it's good for giving that a stage because
I'm so happy I was so happy when Parasite won because like a whole bunch of people were like, damn, that Korean movie won. I guess I gotta go watch it now. And it
Right.
started like a huge renaissance of like
Come on.
people are I have that on the Blu-ray too. Holy
Them all. I have them all. I don't know what else you
I
want
have
from me.
Suicide
The only
Squad on
thing
DVD.
the only thing that I own on DVD is the first Sharknado.
I love those movies.
The
They're
only-
great.
I have a bunch of
I'm
really
with you.
random DVDs. I have La La Land on DVD.
I have
I have
Me and
300.
Earl and the
You
Dying
guys
Girl,
can
and
come
that's it.
over.
That's the only movie I've ever owned on DVD.
I think
Yeah,
I read the
that's-
YA.
Definitely one of my favorite
I
movies.
got like a whole shelf.
Trevor, how many do you
behind me.
own?
Let me
Yeah, I have
see.
like 280, something like that.
It's
God,
the streaming era, Crawford. You gotta move on.
way more than I do.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Let me have a bone to pick with you. First off, these Blu-rays here need a strong internet connection that is supplied by the apartments to actually run properly at Blu-ray 1080p. No, these don't need
But
the
they
internet.
take up physical space.
I
How
have
good your
like,
screen,
no,
too.
It's not.
I have every
It's not
Harry
like I
Potter
have-
movie on DVD as well.
I have every
It's not like I
single
also
one
have like
except for the
600
last
books.
See-
The sixth one is in French. It's a French American DVD for some
Export.
reason.
It must mean it's Canadian. It must be a Canadian
Probably.
one.
I got it off of like eBay, so.
Yeah, it's probably a Canadian Blu-ray because their Canadian Blu-rays have French
Oh, okay.
like cover versions.
That makes
I have
sense.
Eternal Sunshine Blu-ray that has French.
You Crawford
also have-
flexing on me right now. I thought I had a Blu-ray collection. I only have like 60 something.
Gatsby,
Blu-rays.
the Baz Luhrmann one that everyone hates, but I really love.
Oh, the one with Toby Maguire, my guy.
Yes!
My guy, yeah, that guy.
I check
Sorry.
out
And
movies from the
Leo.
library.
I
Hey,
do that.
that's what's up.
Does Marvel have a track record with winning awards?
Not
Only
really.
nominated.
Unless
I think the
nominated
only
for special effects.
Did Black
Yeah.
Panther win anything?
Black Panther,
Yeah.
I believe, won like art direction, sound.
Yeah, one best costuming, I think, for
They
production design. I
usually,
think it's what it's
yeah, they
called.
usually get like the design ones, production,
Production
costume,
design,
and visual
costume,
effects,
And music score.
music score is another one. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Eh.
they're not. It's not like high art. It's not, so it's
Well,
Yeah.
I don't see. Like the thing is, I don't think there's
Bro.
like a Marvel movie that's like good enough
There's-
to win
No,
over some
I
other
yeah.
movies.
I
agreed.
don't think that a Marvel movie would like win best overall picture because I think ultimately there are better stories that are being told than
Yeah.
superhero stories.
a-
No offense, but
This is a great
What?
segue for me. For movies, I don't think there's any high art or low art. Did I cut
Uh-huh.
you off, Sophie?
No.
Okay.
Continue.
Sorry. I just want to be entertained. I really don't care about anything else. I don't care if it makes me thought provoke or it's literally just Scooby Doo running around, which is my segue to Matthew Lillard being snubbed for Best Actor in
For
2002, the same year Shrek won Best Animated Picture.
What was that? What movie was that?
For
Scooby-Doo?
the Scooby-Doo
That was
2?
That would have been the
Scooby-Doo
first.
one.
First one.
That would have been the first animated feature to win animated feature. That was the first time they gave out that award, right? Was for Shrek.
No, Toy
Story.
Story. I think
Story.
So it was
Story.
2D animation for a good while.
Right.
Well, that-
Okay, there was
Okay.
something that it won for the first time.
Was it the first?
Yeah, I mean that was their second made, so that would make
I
sense.
don't know.
Yeah. Toy Story, I think A Bug's Life won.
Ants was
Not
number one, and then
starting
Shrek was
off with
second.
ants.
Yo, Ants!
Ants
rocks.
was because the thing about Ants. Do you know the story behind DreamWorks?
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay, so Jeffrey Katzenberg was
Mhm.
an executive producer at Disney, and they like fired him, and he was like, "F you guys, I'm gonna go make my own studio," and he made DreamWorks. So one of the movies left was a Pixar movie you might know called A Bug's Life.
There's
It was the
Third.
second.
I think it's like Toy Story 1, 2.
No,
The second.
Toy Story 2
Toy
took a
Story
while
2
to
didn't come
come
out
out.
until like 2000.
Yeah, so
'Cause
it was the
originally it was
second.
gonna
Okay,
be
it was
on-
the second then.
And so he left while that movie was in production. He was like, "I'm making my own studio," and the first movie we were making, Ants.
Which was A Bug's Life.
It's so
But-
so sad.
But
In
growing up,
Square.
and
Yeah,
if you watch
yeah, right.
Shrek makes fun of Disney movies. Like it makes fun of
Yeah, Shrek is a
Snow
giant
White,
middle finger to Disney.
because the producer of Shrek was like, "F you, Disney, I make also a
Is that it? It's French and Saunders.
Gemma who voiced
Or is it
Willis,
Don
are you going
Frank?
to continue on
No.
your Scooby-Doo spooky?
Matthew Lillard is literally and any
Jennifer
Oscar nomination that
Saunders.
was snubbed because in 2002. So in 2002, Shrek literally won Best Picture over Monsters Incorporated. Yeah, still
Best animated. Okay, cool.
that's insane.
No,
Monsters
no.
Incorporated is
The second Scooby-Doo movie. Villain was the
Monsters
first.
Incorporated was the second Scooby Doo movie.
It was Monsters
Yeah.
Unleashed.
Monsters Unleashed.
It
Yeah,
is.
I'm saying
You
Shrek.
found-
Monsters
talking about Mo-
Incorporated. Monsters Inc.
Monst-
The
Yeah,
Pixar
Shrek
movie.
beat Monsters Incorporated.
Unleashed.
That's what he's talking about.
Best
I was-
animated
I
picture.
went.
There was
No.
miscommunication.
I've never heard someone call it
Okay.
Monsters Incorporated.
Yeah, it's
That's what it
Monsters Inc.
stands for. Monsters
that.
Incorporated.
Just use the
I thought you were,
abbreviation
like,
that everybody else
combining them.
uses. Yeah, me too.
No, it's
Because I
Monsters
thought you were
Incorporated.
combining Monsters and Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated.
Love.
I thought you were like combining them, and you
Monsters
lost me.
Incorporated.
Anyways,
But yeah,
thing.
Matthew Lillard in the same year was starred as Shaggy, who is the best representation of Shaggy ever, because no one else can play him besides Cassie Kasem.
I thought he was great.
Best actor in 2002 for Training Day, which makes sense. But in 2002, you gotta think Matthew Lillard comes out as Shaggy, and he's not even nominated.
Crazy. So weird.
Name someone. Okay, Crawford, name someone else who could play Shaggy
What else was nominated
right now.
that year? Was you said 2002?
Name
2002.
another actor that could play him better than Matthew Lillard.
Let me see.
Can we compare
Exactly.
the other? So it was Denzel Washington that won.
So.
He's
That's that one
That's-
Halle Berry was.
Just because we thought the same thing about Heath Ledger being the best Joker, and then Joaquin Phoenix did a good job. So I don't know. Just because we can't think of anyone who could do better doesn't mean it's possible.
But also, you gotta.
It's
I
literally
don't know.
impossible. He's the best. He like would scream for hours before to get his enough to play him.
Oh, you like
He
got-
was only using 10% of his power.
yeah, you like the Shaggy
My
God memes.
God, Matthew Lillard is in Good Girls. I did not
Yeah.
even f***ing recognize that man. Holy.
He's also in the Twin
So
Peaks
why
movies.
wasn't Linda Cardinelli nominated? Because
She's better.
no
That's
one
another
plays a better
thing.
Velma
She's better.
I
But
saw
I
her
agree
in
with
the
this.
suit.
I
She
know.
That
was
was
sexy.
that was my bisexual awakening.
Yes.
yeah.
That turned me into like a very horny 5 and 6-year-old, yo. Because
Scooby Doo has a weird track record with like.
that. Speaking of which, this is off topic. That was always in like kids movies back then. Like, there's always this like horny ass moment in like a kids movie.
Because it's made by.
At least it wasn't. Hey, at least yours wasn't Lola
Not-
Bunny, so you're good.
Not just men, lonely animators.
That is a completely different topic.
I think we talked about that like 2 episodes ago.
Harmon anybody?
What?
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's go.
You might need to call this podcast something else. Who cares about the Oscars anymore?
I'll
Linda
just sit
Cardinelli's. This is her podcast now.
Sorry.
All right, she was in Avengers too. I don't know why. I remember that.
Changing subjects briefly, one thing that I can complain about that doesn't need to be complained about, I find it weird. Do songs for movies and get nominated, like Elton John winning best
Oh yeah,
original song last year. Like,
That's
of course he did. He's Elton John. Like,
Well, but he. So,
and
but
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. It's just weird to me because it happens sometimes, especially
Yeah.
with like biopics.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like
Did that occur with Bohemian Rhapsody or like
I do believe it did.
Yeah,
What
usually if it's a
what about the
music,
Lady Gaga one? What
A
was
Star
that
Is
one?
Born.
Star Is Born.
Yes, it
she
actually
for
won.
that.
One best original song for
Shallow.
Shallow.
But I think that's a little bit different because it actually. I guess my grief is more with like biopics.
Music biopics where they
But
use
it's like-
like popular music and they throw it
But-
in as
Yeah.
a best original song. I get what you're
No,
It's
saying.
like it's already a good song. Of course, it's gonna win.
But wait, I think the reason Elton John won is because he actually made an original song. It's best original song. So he wrote a song specifically
But it's
for that
Elton
movie.
John.
But usually when you're in that category, best original song, you are battling against other songwriters.
And it's also already musicians. Like
So, when was Bohemian Rhapsody?
It's not like he won because he was Elton John. He was going against other there was other pop stars. that
remember
were-
Coco? Didn't that
Yeah.
win best song?
that one
That
best
song
song?
sucks.
Hey,
Not a good song.
Did you
That's
just
when
say
they-
Coco
oh.
sucks?
No, the best original song.
So
That song.
Bohemian Rhapsody
Coco Loco?
did not win. It
which
wasn't
one
even
won?
nominated.
Yeah, because the thing is, Bohemian Rhapsody didn't have an original song. in
It did win for sound editing, which pissed a lot of people off.
It also
because the
won-
sound editing was bad.
It also won for editing, which
Yeah.
is also bad.
It
Bad.
won for sound mixing.
And editing. It won for
Um,
editing too.
Yeah,
Awful.
I remember
Oh, A
that.
Quiet Place got nominated for a few things.
Yeah.
I
Going back
Coco
to our-
didn't win anything for the songs. You're
Wasn't it-
lying to me.
Coco,
No,
Remember
it
Me.
won best.
Remember Me.
No, my
It won Remember Me. Best
As
song.
it should.
Original song.
oh yeah,
Like,
there it is.
I'm mostly positive because this is the year he was battling against Sufjan Stevens' song for Call Me By Your Name, which is
Yeah. Best achievement and
Killer.
written for motion
Ooh,
pictures.
Call
Original
Me By Your
song.
which is a
Name.
killer
You
song.
You thought you caught me, Sophie. You thought
I
you-
really
That
did. I
one
thought I
caught me
caught you
slipping.
fucking slipping.
I
No.
remember because they
Yes.
performed it and it was so bad.
Yes, and it won against Sufjan Stevens' song, which was much better, but it's okay.
I
It won.
haven't seen Call Me by Your Name actually. So
I also have not because I see like the toxic girl
can't.
culture preying on gay men, and I'm just like,
I
So,
think it's pretty
Also,
great.
Army
thoughts.
Hammer.
That's just me and Army Hammer.
yeah.
Well,
Can't watch it because of that.
or Timothy
so
Chalamet's in that one, isn't he?
Yeah.
And girls are like weirdly creepy about him.
I watched it before I came to school, and
love it,
it is a good
actually.
movie.
I love it a lot.
The relationship they had, but in the way that I read it when I saw it was that that's a spoiler. Okay,
I think
so I'm not gonna
it's
say that, but
Yeah.
I think the idea that the age differences there has a lot to do with
Yeah.
the movie. So I always have a slight I understand the kind of glamorization of it and how that's a
a
bad
little
thing.
bit.
Like, take the argument with a grain of salt because
Yeah.
I thought that was the point, but apparently the book is worse.
Oh.
I think the book is.
What I've heard as well.
I thought I heard the book was
Listen.
better because the age gap in the book is pretty clear. Like it's only 4 years apart or 3 years
Apparently,
apart.
like in the book, the writer like really sexualizes the whole
17-year-old.
I feel
See?
like it's always weirder in the book.
See,
I don't.
this
I
is
think that's a
why
weird-
if we're ranking,
thing. And there's like a
At Stephen King and It.
I was gonna say
scene in the
Oh.
book.
Game of Thrones.
God, you
Yeah.
just brought back that. I remember reading about that scene.
Yeah,
in
the memory
It.
from it.
Oh
Mhm, mhm.
God.
What
Yeah.
the child sex scene? That
Yeah,
Stephen
the
King
child
wrote?
Circle?
orgy. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone takes
Oh
a turn
my
with Beverly, the
God.
only female
I just-
character in.
I just
Oh.
I want a recording of him explaining it to his publisher on how it's so
Here's
necessary.
the explanation. It was this little white substance called cocaine. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he
but
said
like-
he said he was on a lot of drugs when he wrote that, and he didn't even remember
a lot
writing
of
it.
drugs.
Have y'all seen Maximum
Yes.
Overdrive? Where he was
No.
But it's the only movie directed by Stephen King where he's like
Yeah.
fueled on coke. It's all
Yeah, that
killer
man.
drug.
You
Why
know,
didn't it win an
Stephen
Oscar?
King once wrote me a letter.
Oh,
What? Oh, that's pretty cool.
he's a good boy.
Thank you.
I was at a Barnes & Noble once buying a copy of it, and apparently the day before he was passing by my hometown, and he was in that Barnes & Noble buying an audiobook home from like a book tour. I almost met him.
Buys an audiobook in store.
You're
the
Stephen
most
King.
old man
Stephen King.
I've
I don't know.
ever
What do you want
fucking
from
heard.
me? Stephen King.
Also-
Stephen King's like 70 something.
Yeah.
Of course.
We should probably
Yeah,
wrap
don't
around
buzz
to
up.
this year's Oscars because I don't think we
Is
actually
there
talked
are there
about
Oscars this year?
Nominations
Yes.
came out, baby.
Oh yeah.
I have not seen all of them, but my favorite front runner at the moment is Promising Young Woman.
We talked
it's
Oh,
about
pretty
wait,
good.
that.
yeah.
What are everyone
we
else's
watched that.
thoughts?
Hold on,
I really
let me
liked
pull up the list.
Yeah.
I'm really torn on it.
So
I'm
we've
really
got
torn.
for the
Really
people at
torn.
home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. Stop.
Sorry, I thought I already had it pulled up. I do
So-
not. So he
I
can
do.
use for it.
Oh, it's the Oscars.
I need to watch
what do we-
Citizen Kane before I watch Mank.
Do we want Best Picture nominations?
I
Do
think
we
one
know?
of these.
Yeah.
Okay, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Has anyone seen Chicago 7?
Yes.
I've seen them all. I have
I-
seen them all.
Is it a good representation of the Yippie movement? Because I know
No.
like an intense amount of
No.
history about
The-
the Yippie. Does it represent Phil Oakes at all?
Apparently, the Borat, whoever Borat plays,
Sacha
Sacha
Baron
Baron
Cohen.
Cohen.
Yeah.
Or-
yeah,
no.
whoever he plays, I forget his name. Apparently, that was not.
Yeah.
He was way
no.
more radical than they portrayed him to be.
I just watched it, Jay.
What's this?
That
But
movie,
I think it's good.
Yeah,
it's-
his
okay.
book
like-
is called, what is it called? Steal This Book. That's literally the name of his
Yeah,
book.
yeah. They make a
When it-
joke about it in the
When
movie.
it comes down to Trial of Chicago
Yeah.
7, I like the way Aaron Sorkin writes dialogue, but I wish that movie it was good until I figured out that it was actually based on a real thing, and I was like, damn, because at the end of the movie it's like a yay America, woo, we just forgot
Woo.
everything that we showed you in the last 2 hours.
Does it actually
yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I just watched this movie today, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm with it. It gets me excited in the right moments. It makes me angry, which is the point, because the justice system is all kinds of fucked, and it still is to this day. But man, those last 45 minutes are so lame and kind of bad a little bit, because there's like that we see the riots like in flashes and stuff, and they use like
Real
this
footage.
they use real footage, but the fake footage, they use this really obvious CGI blood that
Yeah.
like sucks out the impact of that scene you have.
That was.
It like
Yes. Okay.
ugh, so lame
I
in the
have-
last 45
I have
minutes.
two questions. Is Phil Oakes in it at all?
Who's that?
Okay. He was basically the guy that Bob Dylan ripped off a lot. He was one of the leading like motivators for the Yippie movement.
Let me see.
He was literally
No.
too socialist for mainstream media, so he got kicked out.
No, they only showed 2 of the Yippee people.
It was
that
like
we
the
get to know
leaders.
in-
Abby
Yeah.
Hoffman and Jerry Rubin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, those are only 2 we see.
He was at the.
focus.
I read Phil Oakes. He was at the trial as one of the witnesses, and like,
Wow. So
Ah.
he just wrote his ass out.
and two, did they have Pegasus?
Explain who that is, and then maybe.
Pegasus. Okay, Phil Oakes, Jerry Rubin, and Abby went around to like all the farms around Chicago to find the fattest, ugliest pig to be their presidential nominee. And like
Uh-huh.
while they were
Did
holding him
know
up
that.
to give Pegasus his speech, that's when the
They do
cops ran in.
They do not mention.
They don't
that
mention
at all,
Pegasus.
no.
no. They don't
Pegasus
mention
the
Pegasus at all.
Undying.
Nope.
I thought
That's the thing about the movie. It's very tame. It's a very tame
Yes.
portrait of
I was
something.
about to say it could have been way. If it was a little too pro-America for me, it could
It's
have been
very
way more radical than.
Very
And I
tame.
think the people it was about could have been way more radical than they were. But I liked Eddie Remaine's character a lot. I thought he worked really well.
Yes, his like accent is really believable and like very
He's-
interesting for him.
He's
to,
also like this moderate character that's like, oh, I want to do the right thing, but I don't really want to go to jail.
then
he's the
but then
one.
you see like then the ending scene kind of changes that a little bit where it shows that he
Exactly.
is capable of.
And that's why I like his character so much.
It's a good movie, but it's also a very lame movie at the same time. It's very weird.
I just wish they wouldn't have been so pro-America.
That's-
Piggy!
Yeah.
Pegasus.
That is Pegasus being arrested by the police right before he was given his speech,
Free my
which no
man.
one's ever.
Yeah.
Yo,
I-
look at
He's
that.
one of my heroes for a presidential candidate. I'm very disappointed in that because I know a lot about the Yippie movement. It's like
Yeah.
that's so.
Because it's about the trial, so they don't really.
It just goes
deep
about the
into
trial.
that.
It doesn't go about like their crazy street performance
no,
antics.
not really.
Mm-mm.
It's everything's very surface level. It gives you enough information for the story to work, but it doesn't go deep
It's-
into anything.
It's literally just the trial and the riots that they're being tried for.
Yeah.
Because
And they don't show Pegasus. Oh my god!
no Pegasus.
Now I'm not gonna watch this.
No Pegasus. They probably thought that was a little too weird, a little too out
it
there.
felt
for the movie.
also a little bit Christopher Nolan-y to me in the timeline. Does that make any sense? The way that they kept jumping in the timeline, it was giving me very much Christopher Nolan. I don't know if anyone else got that. But there was a lot of timeline jumping of like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're
Kind-
saying.
You're like, what the and then it makes sense. So that's why I
The thing
said
that throws it off the most is because we cut back to Sacha Baron Cohen like doing a stand-up, the trial and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And that kind of like messes with the timeline in this weird way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the character. Was it Bobby Seale? He wasn't part of the Chicago 7,
Yeah, but yeah.
but he
got a
was
separate-
there.
He got a separate trial later.
I wish there would have been more of him
for sure.
because where they left him off was
Yeah.
unsatisfying. And I thought he
Yeah.
was going to come back, and then he just never did.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about Chicago 7, it has Fred Hampton in it, which is the one of the main characters in Judas and the Black Messiah. Just as a segue,
Yeah.
if you guys want to move on to that.
Yeah. I love
I
that
haven't
movie.
seen
See,
this
the
one.
funny thing about all the Oscar nominations this year is that I've only seen one, and so I have
I've only
no
seen
opinion.
one.
Okay. So
Yeah.
keep them all spoiler free, except for
Yeah.
Promising Young Woman.
I don't
I
care about
honestly-
Chicago.
I don't care about spoilers. Willis might, but
I do.
Nah, I don't like any of these movies. These all sound boring to me.
I hate spoilers.
Oh, Judas
Except
and the
Judas
Black
and the
Messiah.
Silent.
I don't
that
even
sounds
watch
good.
That
trailers.
sounds-
I
that
don't
actually
watch
sounds-
trailers.
I watched the trailer for that. That actually looks pretty interesting.
Judas is good. Judas
It's
is
very good.
top 3 of these movies, I would say, probably.
Yeah, I would
I
agree
think
with that.
it's very good.
I forget what were the other. So if we had to like give a top 3 of the Best Picture nominations, what would we say? Like, I haven't seen all of them, so
Promising Young
Yeah,
Woman,
same.
Promising Young Woman, Promising Young Woman.
Sure.
I think out of the 3 I've seen,
Young Woman's
Yeah.
probably gonna stick with me for like years. So
Go
I
first.
don't know. Not except for
I
Promising
was talking
Young
about
Woman.
Trevor, but I guess he's lagging.
yeah, I'm lagging in and out.
You're coming
Okay.
in and out, bud. I miss
Okay,
you.
we're back. Are we back?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes, you seem pretty stable for the current moment.
David Fincher made him.
Yes.
Mank.
Yes.
Mank.
We can talk about Mank. It's probably my least favorite of
What?
Fincher's
What?
movies.
I have never heard ever in my life.
Okay.
It was Monk. Oh,
Has
Honestly,
to do
thought it
with
was
Citizen
Monk, too.
Kane, and it's got
Gary Oldman.
Amanda Seyfried
Oh, I
in
don't
it.
care.
Amanda Seyfried is great.
Seyfried. I've never known how to
She's
say her
probably
name.
she's probably the most interesting aspect. We like her. She's
I'm trying to watch Citizen Kane so that I can watch Mank.
So yeah, I wouldn't say it's too. I've seen Kane before this, and it's not like super dependent on it, but there are little like things.
okay. Well, I got
They're
excited
fun.
of the TV show Monk,
used
and
to
I was
love
very
Monk.
excited because I
Show
love
was
that
so
show.
good.
Mank was about the screenwriter for Citizen Kane and
yeah,
kind of
Herman
his writing process, and
Mankiewicz.
also Mankiewicz, and he was also like a Democrat, and it's a lot about his political leanings too, which is
No.
weird. And
Nobody-
I'm good. So it's a
It's-
I'm gonna
biopic.
watch
That's
it.
it's really, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a
Is it
beautiful
in?
black
It is in black and
white
white. Okay.
movie. It's a beautiful
10 out of
black
10.
and white movie.
Black and
The
white. 10 out of
score
10.
is wonderful. Hey, I'm not saying it's great. All right, calm yourself. Like I said, it's probably one of his least good movies. David Fincher's probably
So
one of
can
his
we
least good movies.
can we round? I don't know what time we have to finish this off, but can we like round? Can we speak about all the other ones and then round it off with Promising Young Woman?
Bro, I
Sure.
haven't
And we
watched
can just talk
any
about how
of these
great it
movies.
is. You haven't
I've
seen
seen-
Promising Young
Yeah,
Woman?
no.
I've seen Promising Young Woman, but I'm
Okay.
looking.
So
at
we
Yeah,
can
the
all
whole-
talk about
I've
it.
seen Soul and Onward.
Soul is really good.
Soul is
it. I like
Shaun the
Soul.
Sheep. There was a Shaun the Sheep movie.
Yeah, Farmageddon.
Yes.
Yeah. You
I
missed
just-
that one.
Why don't people tell me these things?
I was pleasantly surprised with Soul
Oh, I saw Borat.
because
Yeah.
That was nominated for something.
Yes,
Screenplay.
adapted screenplay, and Maria Balkova, who is his daughter in the movie, got nominated for Best Supporting Actor, actress, which I think deserves it out of
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
From
I'm
that
gonna
movie.
watch another
She's-
round after this because it's getting.
She's the best part of that movie. 100% is her, and if she wins, that would be beautiful.
So Mank, boring, odd
It's
biopic.
fine.
Continue.
I really
Man.
like the technical aspects, but as a story and as an experience, it's kind of whatever. It's kind of lame a little bit. I don't
What
think
is
it's
the
bad.
sound of
It's
metal?
about a drummer.
Okay. Who saw
My
the Sound of
mom
Metal?
saw it.
It's on Amazon Prime,
saw it.
right?
It's on Amazon Prime. Go watch it. It's really, really awesome because it's about this metal drummer who starts to lose his hearing. So he has to go to like a house to learn sign language and learn how to live as a deaf person. So they really get you into his mindset because the sound design sometimes like go out sections in the movie. It has like barely any sound because he is like deaf, and you really get to like experience his like journey.
Beethoven 2.0.
I like that a lot, actually. Like,
It's very, very like
It's our next 1080C screening.
it's like I think it's one of the better ones here for sure. It's really nice and really good.
so Nomadland.
Oh,
My mom
I've
likes
seen
it.
that. I have
Trevor, do we want to argue about Nomadland for a real hot minute?
Who was it who said they didn't like it? Someone brought it up and was like, I don't like it.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
okay.
kind of how I felt. Like, it's all right. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's
I
a
wish it
little.
was a-
Oh, go ahead.
Please talk about this because I also have a problem with the ethics of it, and I would love to hear what you
Yes.
think about that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
I've been
thought
hearing a lot about
when I
this.
watched it. Like, I think you were about to say like you wished it was a documentary, and that's kind of how I
wish it was a
felt.
documentary.
That's kind of
Because
how.
because you should do this. I'm sorry. I'm
you-
just
like,
really
it
excited
feels a
about this.
little exploitive of like the community
Because
that it's trying to portray.
yeah.
For those of
Yeah.
us at home who have not seen it yet, can we get a?
So, and that's the thing. It's very plotless. It's about this woman, Frances McDormand. Her name is in the movie, and she like loses her job, and so she has to basically live in her van and wander across the US trying to work, being homeless and trying to like live on your own and being in it. And we like meet like this whole cast of characters, and a lot of the movie is non-professional actors. So a lot of the characters you see in the movie are people who actually are these nomads who move all over the country and live and like do bits and jobs in here trying to survive. And like their stories are so interesting and so like detailed.
Playing a character.
Character. And it's like the most interesting aspect of this movie is the other people surrounding you, because they're real and they're awesome and they're interesting. And while it's super exploitative, because it does feel like the director Chloe Zhao really like cared about them and tried her best to like show that in a like
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I watched it. Like it was very like, I just wish it was a documentary. I feel like it would have been better that way. Like,
so much more interesting for sure.
Because like there's not a lot to gravitate towards her character at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, Fern is like, because she's a blank slate and she's the newest to the nomad lifestyle. So like she is just we as viewers, she's our like, you know, our like the stock character that's like our window through which we see these actual people. But and that in of itself like comes off a little separating. In a documentary, just letting us listen to these people and really interact with them just feels like it would have been more affecting for sure.
Tom and Jerry wasn't nominated.
That's a shame. I think it came out too late.
Snub. What's the next? Which ones have we not talked about?
Can we talk about Promising Young Woman? It's the only one I've seen.
We're going to get to that last.
That's
then everyone can have the discussion. Just
Minari.
Minari.
Three of us have seen it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I liked it.
Liked it a lot.
Yeah. I liked it too.
And I think the ending, I really liked the ending.
The ending is awesome. The ending, like the last, it feels maybe slightly rushed, like a little bit, but I know what you mean. Like confrontation end is like grandmother.
Oh, I love her so much. And the
favorite part of that movie.
The kids are my favorite part of it.
And the grandmother got nominated for actress.
As she should.
Yes. Let's go. You know, it reminded me a lot of all right, so like it reminded me like especially with the family aspect, it reminded me of The Farewell a little bit. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like also it reminded me of like a lot of like it takes inspiration I felt like from like Terrence Malick movies and like what's Koreeda,
Koreeda.
Japanese director. Like I felt like a lot of inspiration from those when I watched it. So I was like, okay, I probably have to watch it again because I watched it on a Discord call.
and we watched it with kind of scuffed audio.
Yeah, so I'll probably have to watch it again. But
like,
I liked what I saw.
The score, from what I can hear, yeah.
Oh, what were you about to say?
Yeah, No, did you finish?
Oh, yeah, I finished. I'm done.
I was gonna let you do your piece. Especially because I've heard the score is like beautiful, and for what I could tell, it was really beautiful, and it also got nominated for like best score. And it's from what I can hear, from what we could hear, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. I liked it a lot.
It's just very good, very nice,
wholesome,
just warm, cozy, like a blanket. We like it.
Is that the last of them? Do we have other ones before Promising Young Woman?
So then The Father is the last one that we can talk about. I just watched it. Literally, I finished the movie 5 minutes before I got here for the podcast. I literally just watched it right before I got here. And I paid $20 to rent it on Amazon, so that's cool.
Oh, it's got Olivia Colman. Oh, I love her.
Olivia Colman's in it. Deserved it the most for. Favorite's really good. in terms of performance. She's also really great in this. But anyway, so The Father is about a older man, Anthony Hopkins, going through dementia. And so the movie's told from his perspective, and we go through his lifestyle and kind of go through the experience of what that's like. So what the movie does is it will so you get an actor, Olivia Colman is his daughter, and in certain scenes they switch the actor mind during the whole movie, and the movie uses like cinematic tricks to make you also in the headspace of someone who is dementia. And it the way it cuts, it's very like subtle, like it's not obvious, and there's no like big reveals. It's not like a obvious Hollywood schmaltzy movie where you would expect it to go a certain way. It's very like realistic and very just like subtle with it, and it's like, and everyone in it is great. Like, the pros, the cons, how the mood swings change with someone with bad memories and how that affects him, but also his daughter who has died. Like, really well made like drama. And
His character name is Anthony?
Yes. Yes.
What are the adults?
And don't sleep on it. It's really awesome.
Oh, I won't. I love Olivia Colman.
It's really great.
So, just in the back, Black Messiah.
Very good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really liked it. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Yeah, I really liked Judas in the Black Messiah. I really liked it. Lakeith Stanfield is great.
It was on HBO Max for a brief little
I
moment.
thought it was on Netflix.
God damn.
No,
Why is
HBO
HBO Max
Because they have that whole
busted?
HBO Max.
Because they have Warner
yeah.
Brothers and they made. Oh yeah, because you keep mentioning it. I forget. I'm sorry.
Sponsored.
HBO, because minus it's a really good like.
It's got Studio Ghibli movies.
It's got a lot of good stuff on it. It really does. It's a really good streaming service. UI, of course.
I'm thinking of Ending Things not nominated.
No, it was not. That's a snub,
I forgot
baby.
about that. It was okay.
I was not overly impressed with that movie. It got a lot of hype, and it was really boring. I had high expectations. It was very boring.
It's a white people movie, but it's Spike Jones.
Sure.
I know what I mean when I say that.
Sure.
I'm thinking of Ending Things. Somebody brought this point up on Twitter, and they were like, I feel like Charlie Kaufman, he kind of made the movie that he always wanted to make with Synecdoche, New York. And after that, he's just kind of been like just kind of. I haven't seen Anomalisa, so.
Oh my God! Don't even say it. We should not get into this Charlie Kaufman debate because Sunshine. So what can I say? I'm biased. I don't know.
I like Charlie Kaufman.
In that movie, I'm thinking of Ending Things. Okay. I thought so.
Yes. It should have been nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, at least. That's the only thing I think it really deserves.
Concept, and I think it succeeds in a lot of ways, but it's also drags.
I won't say I love it. I don't think it's one of my favorite of his movies for sure. I think Synecdoche's even better, but
if you look at it as a driving movie, it doesn't seem as bad because they drive a lot.
For the first 40 minutes, there's a lot of driving.
Hold on. I'm going to type out how I think that spelled, and I need you to tell me if it is correct. Because there's a really good TikTok where it's like looking up how to pronounce that exact word, and it says Sinakina Dodi Chodi.
For sure. Because it's a play on like key.
The only thing I could think of while you were saying that word. Sure. Sorry.
And I know. Yeah, we love him.
Really good.
He's the best.
I just love seeing Harry Potter actors in other things.
Watch all of his movies.
Fargo season 3, I think.
Like has been, living his life doing and so.
Is it Promising Young Woman time?
I guess.
I think so.
I'm excited.
There's just so much. There's so much that happens that this could be a whole thing.
Honestly, let's make up the majority of it because it's a very divisive movie. More than you is.
Divisive in what way?
Of course, the last 40 is
This
You
is
know
the
the
best shot in the whole film.
That's very good.
I don't know if I feel like we should not be seen.
You don't have. Can I like?
I mean,
be
just
believed.
cut off time. Someone's probably posted it. Just look it up and end there. You don't have to watch the rest. It's like an
Have you
end credit
guys-
scene.
Do you guys watch The Take on YouTube?
Yes.
No.
I don't know what YouTube is.
they they just
Shut
did
the
a
fuck up.
really really good video on promising young women like 2 days ago.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Many of my opinions will probably come from that video.
Okay.
I remember we watched it. That was one of our screenings, and I really like that movie. I don't get what like for a lot of my like online female friends, it's been very divisive, and I
Yeah, it
can
is.
kind of understand, but I don't know. Maybe this is just me as a guy. I thought it was very interesting and realistic. You know,
Why is it?
So,
What are the reasons? I haven't seen anything about that.
I,
I
I,
think
I think a lot of it is like how it handles like rape culture, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. Hold on. Avery saw this recently, and
I,
I will bring up when I the trailer for this. I thought it was gonna be stupid, and I thought it was gonna be like a little dumb, like this is a girl, she's a girl boss, and I just thought it was gonna be the first like 20 minutes was the whole plot, and I was like, okay. Saw it, and they were like, "Oh, it's really good," and I was like, yeah, "Okay."
I was really
Completely
disappointed that
different.
it wasn't. I really wanted it to be a murder film. Maybe it's just because I'm like super into like true crime and horror movies. But I was very disappointed when it
But I kind of like that she doesn't. She
I
doesn't
do as
kill
well.
them.
I mean, like you get the like the payoff at the end, not at the end, but like in like the long run, you like see what she's doing and it makes sense. But
She almost does.
yeah.
I like the end. I think
Okay.
it makes sense
Okay.
because very meticulous person. There's no way she. This is the thing they said in The Take. There's no way she opened that door without some sort of plan, because I think she knew there was a chance she wasn't gonna make it out. Homegirl had a plan.
But I think that it's really nice that they let the audience kind of not know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like obviously, like you can infer and like whatever, make assumptions, but like I saw this in the movie theaters for the first time in like a year since like COVID shut everything down, and when that popped off at the end and that text came through, I like slapped Hannah across the chest and I was like, no! I was so excited.
Also, the casting in this movie is fantastic. Holy.
I'm so sad that Bo Burnham is a piece.
Oh my god, but it makes so much sense because
Spoilers.
the way that we both.
Spoilers.
I literally. Oh well, you know.
You're gonna have to edit this out. Bro.
I sat next to Sophie when we watched this film.
Yeah.
And the whole time we're like, oh my god, Bo Burnham, you sexy. And just like literally
Bo Burnham.
falling in love with this
In my
man.
mouth. Oh, Bo
We
Burnham.
we were just like going off or whatever, and then things happen, and I was like, but I like you literally fall in love with Bo Burnham with her, and that's like the whole point.
Hold on, I'm seeing some head shakes.
Okay.
and I was like,
Okay.
You're saying you guys didn't fall in love with Bo Burnham?
Here's the
Please.
thing.
I got
Here's-
duped.
Here's the thing.
I
He
got
was
duped.
so hot in
I
that
didn't.
movie.
I didn't.
Please.
I thought it was very predictable that he turned out to be not a good guy. I thought it was obvious.
yeah,
I mean-
I agree.
But it's
Yeah.
treated as kind of a
don't think
reveal,
so.
and I love Bo Burnham. Load. Don't think I don't, because I love his stand up. 8th grade, I love 8th grade with all my heart and soul. But he's probably I love him, and he's good in the movie up until a certain point. And then once he's like outed, he tries to act angry, and it's so
That is
uneven.
Because
100.
his
I
job
know.
is on the line.
I know
I feel like it
tons of
makes
dudes
sense.
who've done that. That's the thing, is like it's
Yeah.
weird. Like you gotta talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people in sociology, like guys get really aggressive when called out. Like
No.
some people, like they seem completely
And
casual.
that's the point
And
of
it's
his.
Not realistic. I know people do that, but when he is angry, his acting doesn't convince me that he's good up to a certain point. He plays himself really, which is, yes, I know,
Yeah.
partially the point. It is partially the point, but if you see like the way he moves his hands and the way he talks is like literally how he talks up he's ever been, and like he
I like that.
Is
Okay. What
All
the?
right.
I really got
oh, we're
kicked
recording
out.
again. Hello.
I was just gonna
Oh.
keep ranting too. I was on a roll, so
Charter Spectrum. Them.
Should
Why am I
probably
lagging
wrap things.
so bad? Yeah.
yeah.
But
Char-
maybe we can
Okay,
do like
so-
a full episode on Promising Young Woman. I feel like that could be interesting.
What?
I feel like
That?
Do you want to just save that for
No,
another?
I won't go into my rant, but
I
Just-
want to.
Well,
I
casting
really
is
want to.
casting is fantastic from
Casting
I
is
haven't said
excellent.
much, but I think it's really good. I think it's a great representation of like PTSD and like complex PTSD in society, which is something I study a lot in sociology. I thought it was a great representation of it, especially like with personal experiences and going to therapy for. It's like I relate to that. That's how I feel. It's really exploitation, like the 70s. Like, isn't it inspired by like 70s
Yeah, like
exploitation films?
yeah, the revenge, like
Or
Female
like super
revenge.
violent.
rape revenge things that
Yeah.
were common back. Like I spit on your that
Yeah.
garbage.
Kill Bill,
Trevor
Just
is
I'm lagging.
sexual
Again,
harassment.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great
Sexual
representation of
assault.
like CPTSD and how it can like damage you long term. And like some people, the worst feeling is like seeing the world move on past you and you still feel there,
yeah.
which is something I thought that was very, very well portrayed. And it's like, dang.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think that something they do really well is all of the colors in the movie.
Mhm.
Very
I
pretty.
really enjoy like
It's nice.
the playing with that.
Oh.
You're the host.
So we had some technical difficulties. This has been episode 5 of the 1080C podcast. Until next time,
We're going to recommend things or?
Promising Young Woman.
Yeah, let's recommend things. I guess we'll start from the top or whatever. Yeah.
I can go.
Whatever.
I will recommend. I don't know what I would recommend this week. I don't know. I recommend that if your movie theaters are open, that you should see a movie in theaters. Actually, I saw Promising Young Woman in theaters, and it was a very good experience. 10 out of 10. I had some Raisinets.
That's pretty good.
Recommend Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. If you really don't like rom-coms, it's pretty good. Like young adult rom-coms, it's pretty good. It's got a lot of like, avant-garde weird stuff. It's not like, something people will love, but I think it's a really good movie. It's got enough twist in it that it's enjoyable and a great cast.
Solid. That's solid.
Samantha, your turn.
On my turn, I will recommend
Then I'll go.
Promising Young Woman. We just went off about it, so.
Mhm. I don't know. I'm about to recommend something I haven't even seen, but I
Most
want to see.
Vertical Primate.
It's coming out this week, and it's a movie I was really excited about, and it's finally coming out. It's this movie called Shiva Baby, and it's about this bisexual Jewish woman who goes to a bar mitzvah and sees her sugar daddy and has to deal with that and family, and then also her ex-girlfriend and Coen brother-esque, and it sounds like a really awesome, cool idea for a movie, and I'm just so excited to see it.
You made a movie about me?
Yeah,
That's
apparently it's fantastic, and it's getting put on VOD this week, and
What's it
I'm
called?
going to watch it. Or in April, I think it's on VOD. It's called Shiva Baby,
Have a baby.
and it's directed and starring a female. The female director also wrote the script as well. And apparently it's fantastic, and I'm so excited to watch it when it comes out in like April on VOD. So watch it with me, guys. It'll be fun.
Cool.
People should watch this movie.
All right.
Watch me watch it.
I guess I'll recommend. This is kind of topical. Please buy Blu-rays of movies you like. You never know when it's gonna vanish off a streaming service. Always have
Correct.
a hard. So yeah,
So I have Clueless.
that's slapper.
It's why I got Sharknado, baby.
Yeah,
think I got-
God.
but yeah, that has been. This has been episode 5. Despite the technical difficulties, they tried to shut us down. We're back.
Netflix didn't like us talking about HBO Max. They DDoSed us. This is just not cool.
We're literally
Yep.
talking about their streaming service on harder internet. It's like,
Charter we're shut down, but yeah, that's off topic. Until next time, adios.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.